Morning, friends and neighbors. No one else finds it suspicious. Remember after 9/11, on all of the news agencies and magazines and everything else, right? I mean, they even had diagrams in like Time magazine and Newsweek and all this of the underground tunnels and bunker system in the mountains of Afghanistan, and we had to drop a record number of bombs in order to dismantle these tunnels and bunkers and bases. And they even had diagrams, where they would draw like, ooh, this is where they keep the computers, this was the media room, this is where the cafeteria is, like all this stuff, like. And now all of a sudden, oh, there's over 400 miles of tunnels in the Gaza Strip. Oh, Hamas is hiding in these underground tunnels. We're going to have to drop an ungodly amount of bombs in order to take out these tunnels. I mean, Hollywood is on strike because they don't like to pay writers, right? I say it all the time. Our government is Hollywood. Our government doesn't like to pay writers either. It's the same script after 9/11 and, after the Gulf of Tonkin, Vietnam, the tunnels. Ever since Vietnam, when they actually had the tunnels, and I know they have some tunnels here and there, and they might have 400 miles of tunnels in Gaza, maybe. But it just, it's the worst tragedy since the Holocaust. Everyone is the worst one since the Holocaust, right? And then now we have to support the tunnel system. We don't know. They may have the hostages under the tunnel. They might have many, many hundreds of miles of tunnels. That's what they always say, right? It's like with COVID. It may impact your health and wellness, right? The vaccines may be beneficial, right? No scientific data, no research whatsoever. Just, well, we found one, so probably it's true all the way around. And what happened to that in Afghanistan, right? We never saw any proof of any fucking underground bunker tunnel system. But yet, that kept us in Afghanistan for how many? 2 decades. Over 2 decades, right? Over 2 decades. And then what happened? And then we just gave it back to the Taliban, who were our allies to begin with. I mean, they spent time in Ronald Reagan's freaking White House. They hung out with Donald Rumsfeld and Dick Cheney and all these other scumbag neocons who are all involved now with this administration, who's also neocons. They've taken over our whole government. But yeah, the tunnels. It's the tunnels. We gotta keep going because we gotta get rid of these tunnels. It's the same shit over and over again. They just keep replaying the same bullshit, and everybody's like, we gotta do it. We gotta help them. What about the women and children? I love it that the Israelis. No, it's the Jews against the Muslims of, that live in that area, Palestine, right? And then everybody likes to pretend, oh, Hamas is in Palestine. Motherfucker, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Every Hamas member is Palestinian. I guess every Palestinian isn't a member of Hamas, but you understand what I'm saying, right? And the thing about them going and attacking, I'm not saying you should attack civilians, right? Of course not. You shouldn't attack fucking anybody to begin with. But anyway, the civilians in Israel all have to do several years of military service. So they're not going after non-combatants, okay? Unless they're really, really old, every citizen of Israel has served in the military. So they see them as enemy combatants. And in fact, they are, right? Because where do most of these Israeli soldiers spend their time? Stationed around Gaza and the West Bank, fucking with Palestinians. Oh yeah, I know, I'm anti-Semitic or I'm anti-Muslim, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about Jews. I don't give a fuck about Arabs. I don't give a fuck about Muslims. I don't care about Afghani or Israeli or Palestinian or Jordanian or any of these fucking other countries. Lebanese, Libya, any of these places. I don't care about their fucking children. I don't give a fuck. Take care of your own fucking kids, people. When's Israel gonna stand on its own two fucking feet? How long has it been a nation for? And we pay for fucking everything? We don't even have an Iron Dome, but we pay for theirs, right? We're paying for Social Security recipients in Ukraine and Israel. And do you understand what I'm saying? I don't care about any of these people. We got Americans of all colors, ethnical backgrounds, and religions suffering here in the United States. When we fix our fucking roads and bridges and take care of our side of the fucking street, that's when we can start helping all these other motherfuckers, right? How about we get our CIA to stop fucking around in all these other countries and destabilizing them, right? Maybe the world would work out a little bit better, you know? Maybe we'd all get along just a little bit easier. But oh no, you know? Yeah. The tunnels, we're gonna take out the tunnels.